Good morning, YouTube. Smells like paint. Ooh, that's a nice looking little intake tube. Got the battery box, or battery cover. Let's get going. All right, well, just showed you the pieces we got painted. I said I was gonna paint them late last night. I actually got to paint them before we went to baseball. The primer was dried up enough that I was able to just give it a little scuff and got some black equipment enamel on there. I figure that'll hold up pretty decent for what they are. And it was quick and fast drying. So, that being said, today we're gonna do some more work on the bike. We're probably gonna wind up, the pegs came in yesterday afternoon, so that'll probably be this morning's project, making those fit. And then we'll probably be somewhat wrapped up on the bike for a minute and drag a car in that I gotta pound out real quick. Just a newer car, well, SUV. I gotta do bumper cover repair, a couple dent repairs. I'm gonna pound that out quick. But before I go any longer, I need to do the hat giveaway that we did last month. I know we're, 10, 12 days into this month and we haven't done it. Just with everybody had a round of sickness through the house and baseball and whatever. We're just now getting to it. I just got the list of names. I put them in the random generator. And as you see here, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna push, push go, see what happens. All right, go. And we have Stephen Barton. I don't know if that is backwards for you, but I think Samantha fixes that or something. But so Stephen Barton, you won yourself $100. So you already picked up your hat, so you're gonna have to swing by and grab your $100. Awesome. All right. Well, this is what we got going on. This is the pegs they had, just a pipe. This is different than a lot of newer Harleys that we're used to. The newer Harleys would have 2 tabs, and this male part is actually on the peg and goes in. This is reverse of that. So I didn't know what I was gonna make or what I was gonna do because he wanted this style peg. So I found dirt bike pegs that had about the same angle going on here. I just need to cut these tabs thinner so that this fits in there, and then figure out what I'm gonna do with these little stops here. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I think I can leave this outside one on and it'll work. I think I'm gonna have to grind that off. But that's our little project for this morning. It's making these dirt bike. I forget what dirt bike I wound up ordering them for, but if anybody's interested, I can certainly look that up. But we'll see if you're interested after we know if I can make them work. All right, here we go. All right, now comes the time for some precise guessing and a little bit of tape measure work. All right, so update. We went from, I always had music in the background because I enjoy listening to music while I work, and I thought it made the videos more interesting than just no sound and me talking once in a while. Then we found out once we get enough subscribers and view hours and this, that, the other thing that YouTube pays, you can't have copyrighted music. So we started putting in the little sound clips like we do during the time lapse. And no music in the background like right now. then we said, well, we're not getting paid, so we're just gonna keep the music and keep it interesting for now. Well, I guess we're getting close to the point where we can't have music, because I remember I said I had Mondays and Tuesdays video to combine. Yesterday, Wednesday's video was going to be its own video. Well, Samantha uploaded it last night and it wouldn't upload. She just figured out why. It said it was blocked for the music in the background. I think some Morgan Wallen song, something else. There's 4 songs that blocked the background. So apparently we can't use music anymore. So I'm going to just have to sing to myself, I guess, as we work. But anyway, so that's the story on the music, no music deal. So yeah, some precise guessing and tape measure work. Here we go. We're gonna guess with a little scribe of a line, We're gonna see how close our guess was. We need 5/8 of an inch. And we have 5/8 of an inch right there. Well, I guess the best thing to do is going to start with, hey, where's that carb not dropping down? Just discovered that. We'll look at that in a second. So I'm going to grab the cutoff disc and some glasses, and we're going to do a little grinding. Probably going to throw a welding blanket right there, because I don't know if you know this, but this is where the fuel goes in. So there's probably fuel and vapors here. So I'm going to try to not catch myself on fire or blow the customer's bike up. So I'm going to grab a welding blanket, the grinder, some glasses. I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, it's taken hours and hours in the machine shop and in the design room with our computers and cabs and everything. It's taken quite a bit here of precision machining to get this dirt bike peg to fit this old Sportster. And we're very close, so now we're down to the very fine tuningness of it. So we're just gonna take our little fine tuning tool here, and we're gonna make it fit. I think we're pretty dang close right there. Let me grab a bolt. See how this goes. See if it... This might fit a little better. Alright. Still allow that to flip up. Let's see how that feels. It'll feel funny to me because the seat's in a funny spot for me, but Oh yeah, that'll do. Damn, them are grippy. I had a friend stop by that said he put these on a set of bike or something similar, and he ground these nubs down because they would tear right into his shoe. Probably not a bad idea, but I'll let the customer decide on that. Well, there we go. There's one side. So now I guess back to the machine shop. The machine shop here. Let me set up the machine shop really quick. There we go. Get the machine shop set up. We got our CAD program. Run over to the other side. All right. Well, we went ahead and took the brake lever out of the way. Yes, again, I said brake lever. I am on the left-hand side of the bike. Old Sportster. Left-hand brake, right-hand shift. We took this out of the way because I didn't want to cut into the pedal. I didn't want to cut the pedal off. He might want a rear brake, and I don't want to cut his pedal off. So I'm going to fire up the machine shop again, get that little nub milled down to where it belongs, and then do our machining on our peg, get this one bolted on. Alright, well, back to the fine-tuninator. More. Get bolting that, see what it looks like. Well, that'll work. All right, well, that's a mismatched bolt. I don't have a lock nut on that side. I'm gonna dig through my hardware, make sure I got good clean hardware for that stuff, and then I'll get things cleaned up and reassembled with the new hardware, but that works. So, mission accomplished there. Yeah, I guess we're getting close to the laundry list being knocked off. So we're gonna give this bike a good cleaning up, wiping down. We gotta paint the kickstand. I'm gonna paint the brake lever. The shift lever is chrome. Then we can get our battery box on, our seat bolted down, get the bar bushings changed, and then I'm gonna have to see what they want to do about the running issue, whether they want me to deal with it or if they're gonna take it somewhere else to jet those carbs down. But I think my list is almost knocked off here. So I guess I'm gonna get to wiping down, cleaning down, and reassembling everything I just put together. I do need to make one more thing. Just remembered just now. I need to make a bracket that holds the carburetors in place so it's not relying on the rubber boots. So I'll jump over and do that before I start cleaning. That'll be my last little fabrication project. And then we'll be on to bigger and better things, I guess. Alright, so this is what we got going on here. This was their old air cleaner setup, and it helped hold these carburetors. And at the end, because back in here they're just two rubber boots with clamps, so it can still pivot some. What I'm going to do is share this top. I don't even know if you can see my finger, but there's a bolt that connects these two flanges here. I'm going to take that and I'm going to add two little brackets, although I'll actually hook them together, from this bolt out to this bolt and that bolt out to that bolt where those were. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one side. I'm going to get the hole drilled, get it notched to fit around the manifold here, get the hole drilled on this end, and then I'll go from this piece, I'll make another piece that way, I'll weld them together, and we'll have a little triangulated bracket that'll hold these carburetors in place. So we're going to again do some precision guesstimating and get some work done in the machine shop. I'm going to go past that bolt. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go 6 1/4. I'm going to chop that up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
I was gonna skip the whole welding and grinding of this little bracket just because I figured you saw enough of me doing it yesterday, but I just wanted to show how I clamped this down to a semi-straight piece of steel here. Both pieces so they'll lay flat, and then I ground a V into this side because this is my outside and I have my nut right here, so I need this to be smooth, not only for looks but for a flat surface for the nut right there. So by grinding that V in and giving myself that slightest gap by separating it just a little bit, I have plenty of room to get a puddle of weld in there and still be able to grind it flat without any strength issues. And then the backside I'll weld, and I can leave the weld or knock it down a little bit, but you won't see it. Other than I need to make sure where it sits on that flange, it's smooth. But so anyway, just wanted to show you that real quick. I guess I'll throw the old time lapse on for a couple tackaroos here, but yeah, that's my plain simple little bracket. I'll round my edges and clean it up and get a little black paint on it, and well, I'll paint it when I paint the kickstand and brake lever and whatever other little pieces I'm painting. But there you have that. Again, with a little bit of computer programming and very fine measurement and finishes on here, we have another bracket. I don't know if you can see in here. I'll take it out so you can see it, but that just holds the carburetors in place. I'll pop it off so you can take a look at it. They come back off for paint anyway. There we have it. Nothing complicated, very simple, but it does the job. I did it quick, it's clean. We'll paint it black like the other stuff we painted yesterday, and it'll look like it was made for it. Well, it was made for it. But yeah, there you go. That is the last of the fabrication, I believe. Now it's cleaning, painting, bar bushings, and see what they want to do about the carburetors. I do see this slide here not dropping down, but I think the screw's out all the way, so maybe I'll look into that really quick. That might be some of my idle. I don't see it up that little bit affecting the idle. I think one of these carbs is probably too much. So 2 of these carbs is too much. So I don't think there's anything I can do to get them to idle down with that much fuel and air going in at once without jetting the fuel down. But we'll see. There's that. I'm gonna look at that slide real quick and jump on to the next thing. All right, so I just found something that may be good. I pulled these slides, they were gummed up, so they're sticking a little, so I cleaned those, and then upon investigating, I realized that they could drop down farther. These cables were improperly adjusted. These cables were holding, I mean, I could stick, again, real technical right here, I could stick, you know, my pinky underneath the slide before with the idle screws all the way out. Now I got them dropped down to 1/8 or so. All I did is I let them drop all the way. This is, again, very scientific, and I'm a highly trained motorcycle technician. I adjusted them down and watched them sit all the way down, and then I adjusted it back up until it just started to lift the slide. Dropped it back, hit the jam nut, did the same on both sides, checked that I get full throttle, they move evenly. So I'm gonna go ahead and I threw this bolt back in the intake, so I'm gonna give this a test fire and see if I can get it to idle. We may have just cured what I thought was a bigger problem by just adjusting the cables. Again, like I said, this bike came to me, it's supposed to have run and run great. So I didn't really dig into stuff. As simple as that. I would have thought that would have already been adjusted. So I was thinking, okay, well, it's got to be deeper, it's got to be jets. I should have took the old it's out of gas mentality and dropped back to the simple things and checked these to begin with. But the important part is I just did, and it might have saved the day. I'm gonna fling the door open to knock myself out of here. See if this is one of the times the start button's gonna work. It's finicky. Get the lights on. Run. We'll throw the chokes on. Oh, hey. See. Not without the choke yet. We'll run the idle up a little bit more. without the joke. So we were working on getting the idle down and it was running pretty decent. I stuck it outside. After running for 30 seconds, started pumping oil right up out of the oil cap all over. I don't know how I get myself into this stuff. I was supposed to clean this up and make a few things and the bike was supposed to run. But now I'm chasing problem after problem. Just to make the thing run. So I'm thinking I might have a clogged little overflow tube here. I'm going to just try to put a little air through it. It's dry as a bone. Nothing's trying to get through there, it's just going right up through the cap. Which leads me to believe it's something in the tank, not a rag or two. Something to set this filter on. Blowing through there. So why? Not run through there if nothing's restricted. That's the return. So what does this overflow tube here say? That's what I meant. This is overflow, I believe. I mean, not overflow, return. No, this is overflow. That's return. Oh boy. feed to the oil pump. This should be an overflow. Where does the overflow go? Go back down into the crank. I am not a motorcycle mechanic. I'm just kind of working my way through this. Clicking. Oh, there it is. Where the heck is it supposed to go? Got me stumped. That's the feed. So we got the running issue a bit on the run. I finally figured out what the hell I was talking about with all the different lines there. This is a return, this is a vent, and the gravity line down to the pump is obviously down the bottom of the tank. So I pulled the cap, watched it, and it was returning. So everything was obviously circulating and working. The trouble, I thought, was the cap, which the cap is kind of friggity. But the trouble is what happens is in this tank is where the filter is. It drops down in, and there's an O-ring. And so when it returns is when it drops it through the filter and then back into the tank. What happened is the filter was dirty and it was just accumulating in the top of the filter. And then when it hit the top of the filter, it would start blowing out the top here. So I cleaned the filter just for proof of concept. So it's going to need, obviously, a filter and an oil change. But again, I'm not a bike shop, so I'm already doing way more than what I'm supposed to be doing. But we solved the oil pumping out issue so that I could actually try to make it run. I got it running better. One of the slides is still sticking slightly, but it's coming into it. And then I just wanted to show you. So this is one of the reasons it's here. The bike's just been sitting and it's all dingy and nasty, right? So, just a couple minutes I ran a wool pad and a rubbing compound, and then a foam pad and a polish, just over this quick, and look at that difference. I don't know how much different it shows up on camera, but it's certainly different here. So I hit that other side, polish up some other parts, clean up these chrome fenders. I'm gonna start with reassembly, do the bar bushings after this is all cleaned up. or during cleaning it up, because I can pop the bars out of the way, clean all this. Start just cleaning it up and start reassembly. And then in the mix of that, we'll see if we can make it run a little bit better, but if not, I made it run. I made the parts I was supposed to, and it can be gone. All right. Got a few pieces primed up. They'll be ready for some paint. Got the brake lever and my carburetor bracket I built. I am going to run and get some hardware to mount my intake to the carburetors. I'm gonna get some more carburetor cleaner and we will be back.